With all the chaos that 2020 has brought us until now, you'd think it's been enough, but this year isn't over yet. We're in the middle of an environmental crisis and no one can deny it. Everything about modern life, deforestation, pollution, greenhouse gas emissions, draining of wetlands, climate change, globalization, and other such aspects are basically erasing species and destroying ecosystems like it never happened before, and the environment is starting to react. Despite this obvious situation, many are still walking around with covered eyes and covered ears because it's too uncomfortable to change their lifestyle and view upon the world if the real cause were to be accepted. It's crucial to understand that when we harm the earth, we're actually harming our own health. Several studies have focused on the positive and many times ignored the effect of the environmental factors on health, which is the direct physical contact with the numerous electrons found on the surface of the earth. The lifestyle we're following right now are blocking this contact, and many researchers firmly believe that this disconnect is a key contributor to the physiological dysfunction and unwellness. Studies have found that reconnecting with the Earth's electrons promotes important physiological changes that can support the overall well-being. The process is known as grounding or earthing, and it deals with the understanding the benefits, like better sleep and reducing pain by simply walking barefoot outside or sitting, working, sleeping indoors. While connected to the conductive system, these systems are able to transfer the Earth's electrons from the ground into the human system. It is known that the Earth processes an endless supply of negative electrons that pulse out in a pattern. There is a whole cycle that recharges the supply through the natural rhythm of radiation from the sun, lighting, and the Earth's orbit. Apart from the really arid, deserted areas, the surface of our planet is constantly conducting energy. This could explain why electricity needs to find the ground through the path of least resistance. Imagine you touch a metal pole and you get a little shock. That is actually the static electricity getting out of your body and going down the pole and finally getting into the ground. So grounding is understood as discharging the built-up static electricity either directly into the surface of the earth or through a conductor and then into the ground. Yet earthing is more specific because when your body has a direct contact with the earth without any blockage, like a shoe or a carpet, you're earthing. This modern life we've chosen to live has put a wall of bricks between us and the primordial flow of the Earth's electrons. Just think about how life from the 1960s has started to revolve around rubber and plastic materials instead of more sustainable ones, like leather fashioned from hides. Experts talk about how turning to insulated materials in post-World War II has estranged us from the Earth's energy field. Also, we're not sleeping on the ground as our ancestors used to. The recent decades have been hit by high rates of chronic illness, immune disorders, and inflammatory disease, and several voices have stated that environmental factors are the cause. A significant part of research focuses on the fact that modern disconnection from the Earth's surface might represent the cause. A German Back to Nature movement from the late 19th century emphasized the great benefits that walking barefoot outdoors, even in cold weather, has. In the 1920s, an investigation on sleep grounded showed people improving their rest by turning to such a practice. It seemed like sleeping was much better on the ground, or connected to the ground, with either copper wires attached to grounded to earth water, gas, or radiator pipes. Yet the mainstream society did not take to it very seriously. The end of the last century is when several tests were carried out independently by Ober in the USA. The one by K. Sokal and P. Sokal in Poland showed a vast range of benefits for the overall health when using conductive bed pads, mats, EKGs, and TENS-type electropads and plates connected indoors to the earth outside. A similarity between the human body and the cable used to transmit cable television signal was found by Obar, a retired cable television executive. Whenever cables are grounded to the earth, interference is basically eliminated from the signal. Also, stabilization of electrical systems is made by grounding them to the earth. Meanwhile, K-SoCal and P-SoCal showed that grounding the human body actually represents a universal regulating factor in nature, which has a crucial influence on bioelectrical bioenergetic, and biochemical processes. Moreover, it seems that this offers a significant modulated effect on chronic illness that health experts deal with on a daily basis. Everyone feels a warm, tingling sensation when walking barefoot on moist grass or sand. This contact can bring along many health benefits, and very often within minutes. Such positive effects include regulating cortisol levels by reducing stress, relieving muscle tension, headaches, and menstrual pains, along with supporting the well-functioning of the cardiovascular system. In other words, this practice helps the body shift from the stress-fighting or flight mode to the reinvigorating rest and digest mode. Earthing can effectively help with improving the immune response of the body by combating the inflammatory processes. For those that deal with illness and have therefore the most free radicals, the benefits can be quite dramatic. Yet for those who are healthy, grounding can provide them with better sleeping and higher energy levels.